social stratification based on socioeconomic status. This includes factors such as wealth, income, occupation, and education, and access to resource. It signifies a hierarchical arrangement of individuals and groups in society characterized by unequal distribution of wealth and power. The basis of class. First is wealth. Accumulated asset owned by an individual or household. Income, the regular flow of money received often through employment or investment. Third is occupation, the type of work performed under often determine income, social prestige, and access to opportunities. Fourth one is education, the level of formal learning achieved, influencing occupational prospect and social mobility. Then come residence, the geographical location, particularly the distinction between urban and rural setting, which can correlate with class differences in access to service and opportunity. Class as a relatively open society, unlike caste, which is a ascriptive means basis on birth system. Class systems are generally considered achieved status system which the potential for social mobility. Individuals can theoretically move up or down the class hierarchy based on their skill, education, occupation, economic achievement. However, the degree of actual mobility can vary significantly. Class structure. Societies exhibit a class structure, often categorized into broad strata such as the upper class, characterized by significant wealth, income, and ownership of capital and land. Then come middle class, a diverse category, often include professionals, white collar worker, and small business owner. Third one is lower class, typically comprising manual laborer and those with lower levels of income and wealth. More detailed classification can include categories like propertied upper class, non-properties white collar class, petite bourgeoisie, and manual labor class, blue collar job. Class consciousness and class identity. Individuals with similar classes position may develop a shared awareness of common interest and experiences known as class consciousness. This can lead to a formation of a class identity, sense of belonging to a particular social class. Class in Indian question. While class in is increasingly important dimension of social stratification in India, it intersects with and is influenced by traditional system of caste. Historically, there was a strong correlation between caste and occupation, which shaped early classes formation. Despite modernization and economic change, caste continued to exert a significant influence on social, economic, and political inequalities. In India, often overlapping with class division, factors like women education, changing occupational structure, contributing to transformation in the relationship between caste and class. The concept of dominant caste, characterized by land ownership, political power, numerical strength, and highlights how traditional social hierarchy can influence contemporary caste structure in rural India. Viewed of social thinkers. Karl Marx viewed class as fundamentally determined by relation between means of production. He identified primarily classes in capitalist society: the bourgeois, owners or capital, and the proletariat, the wage laborer who do not own means of production. Marx emphasizes the inherent conflict and elect between these classes, driven by the exploitation of labor, which would eventually lead to class consciousness. The social change. This theory is dialectical materialism. Posits that material condition, economic structure shape social relationship and historical development. And then ARSI analyze the Indian state and society from a Marxist perspective. He viewed the state in post-independent India as often subservient to the interest of dominant classes, including the bourgeois capitalist class and the proletariat labor class. Class and social change. Process of social change such as urbanization, westernization, and industrialization, and a change in education and occupation can influence and modify the class structure and dynamics of social mobility. And class versus caste. While both are system of social stratification, caste is primarily based on aspiration, means birth, and characterized by endogamy, hierarchy, and restriction on social interaction like food, marriage. Class ideally is based on achieved status and allow for greater social mobility. Although in practice, ascribed factor can still significantly influence caste. In the Indian constitution, the boundary between caste and class are often blurred and mutually reinforcing. The class and caste interplay and distinction. The traditional form of social institution is caste and the modern is class. The caste and class often intersect and influence each other. So this is for